All right, everyone. It is Wednesday, January 22nd, 2025. And if you are aware, it's 9 o'clock Eastern Time. It's that time where I am speaking tonight. And the person that I'll be speaking with tonight, I'm about to bring her on, is Red of Gig Wars Official. Red, we finally talk.
Hi, Anwood. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. I'm much better whenever I see my invited guests showing up. Much
I
easier.
bet, yeah.
Mu- Much easier. I'll tell you this quick story. When I did podcasts back in 2009, 2010, my last big guest was Patrice Rushen, the musical genius that you may have heard of, if you recall
Hmm.
that song "Forget Me Nots." Um, anyway, that was a 9 to 10 month project in which he finally agreed to come on. And when it come to the podcast day, it still took another 30 minutes before we were actually talking. And
Oh
so,
my.
yeah, so here I was. I had everything all prepared, and I had to struggle for the next 30 minutes until she finally got through. And so, um like I said, it's always a relief when my invited guest shows up. Okay, Cray Cray. All right. Hey, Cray Cray. Um, I love Forgive Me Nots, an '80s classic. Yep. And they it's my under now here's the story behind that too. Now I've talked about it a little bit when I did that Christmas Day um, live stream though, but many of the people she performed with were people that she were friends with or went to school with.
Oh,
Yes. In fact, one of the people I mentioned, hey Grace, was Gerald
hi,
Albright,
Grace.
the saxophonist. Gerald Albright. He's the one that played the sax in that song. So just historical background. But yes, Red, I am glad that you're on here. Um, so you mentioned to me that you'd been checking out some of the live streams, and
Of
you've seen
course.
whom I've spoken with. So
Yes. I was like, oh my God. I'm like, I better prepare. I need to listen to all of these if I'm going up with Pedro, Hannibal, Steve, and Jeff.
Well, I mean, I want to say that it's nice that they agreed to appear, and maybe I had a little bit of clout, but it's not easy to get people. It's not easy as what you think. I mean, I've sent out invitations to various folk, and for as many who have agreed, just as many have not even replied. So there you
Oh,
go.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Hmm.
And I don't understand that. I really don't. Like, we're all doing the same thing. Why wouldn't we want to talk and interact and collaborate with each other?
It is what it is. I mean, I'm an older person. I guess I still say I'm a big boy, and I just rely on my media experience being having been a reporter, in that oftentimes folk will only um, agree to interact with you so long as it advances their agenda, and
Yeah.
that is a that is a that's just a truth. That's just a truism. It is what it
Well,
is.
I'll tell
Mhm.
you why I agreed to come on.
Mhm.
Because I just like you. I remember hanging out with you on the lounge when we both really had just started our channels.
Mhm.
You didn't even have your cargo van yet. You were
No.
looking into getting it. You were
Mhm.
looking at looking at this one, and talking about it. Like, what decision were you going to do? And
Yeah,
matter
and
of
then I
fact, you were back when we both got monetized. You
mhm.
needed 1,000 subscribers and the four
1,000
thousand
and
hours.
right. I didn't
Neither
even
one
have
of
that.
us, and
Didn't have
neither
it.
did I. Neither did
Right.
I.
Yeah. In fact, it took a little
So
it took some folk in Mr. Flex's lounge to kind of get
yeah,
that push for me. Cherry and Flex and probably you and a few other folk were like, "Hey, y'all need to, get subscribed to his channel and all." And it's nice that y'all very nice that y'all did, because that kind of gave me the springboard. And then after I started with doing van content, the channel it was one of those algorithm pushes where I got pushed in front of a lot of folk, And so
Yeah.
most of the subscribers that you see are from that 2-3 month stretch. And since
Yeah.
then, it's been kind of stagnant, but I'm okay with that. It's just, yes, but I'm, been I'm in that status of monetization, but as I've shared oftentimes, for at least what I've tried to accomplish, I, I've not been able to accomplish anything. The monetization is very minimal, at least for someone of my size. There are
Well, look at
folk who,
my size. I never grew. I'm stuck at 1600.
hmm yeah, well, I mean,
Is what it
I'm
is.
okay with that. I'm okay with that. I
Yeah,
mean,
me too. I don't really care.
yeah, as I've mentioned, I probably would be much bigger of a channel if I give the answers to the tests or I say what people want to hear. But I've never been that way. And I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure you can
Yeah.
recall any of your interactions with me. I've been the same person.
Yes. Yes.
hmm So that said, I'm going to take you back in time.
Oh
Um,
boy.
yes, I'm
Let's.
going to take you back in time. No, I mean, I'm not. I'll. No, I just got to make sure I get my act together here. Present, share screen. Okay, and then there we go.
Oh
There
my
we go.
God.
Hey, gig workers. This is
Yeah.
Red. Welcome to my channel. I'm
Is
so
that
glad that
my
you found
first
me.
video?
This is
Huh?
actually
Yeah.
only my second video. I should warn you that I don't know how good or bad I am with editing. It's been a long time since my first video, so please bear with me.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who watched my first video, the theme was, should I quit my day job
I
and
remember
work
that
gig
one.
work full time? So I did actually leave
Okay.
that job. I was recruited to another position, which I thought was going to be amazing. As it turns out, it was not. So here I am. I find myself without a W-2 job. And most people, I think, would be very concerned. Me, not so much. It's actually a blessing in disguise. It's
All right, now, Red.
I remember filming that.
Yeah,
Hi, Flex. Hi, G.
Flex. Gee, hey. In fact, Flex is how we met, y'all. That's how we met, through his
Yeah.
lounge,
Yeah. Yeah.
his lounge, and I'll talk more about that though. But the reason why I brought that up, because I wanted to take you back in time, and this is an upload that I noticed, and you're talking about having left a W-2. That was June 2023, and now this
Mm-mm.
we're
22.
2022. Okay, I'm my bad.
22.
But we're now in January 2025. Same person. What's the difference other than 2.5 years?
Um, I'm so much happier. I'm
Okay.
so much happier.
Okay. So much happier.
It's because of what I do.
Mm-hmm.
I have the freedom. Well, the freedom and the flexibility,
Mm-hmm.
and I just don't have to listen to anybody.
Right.
Other than whatever order I am actively working on, nobody, and I
Mm-hmm.
mean nobody tells me what to do.
So
And
you
I love it.
live and direct. That's my man, Mr. Raymond Picard Jr. He is the second vice president, soon to be first vice president of the Gig Geezer crew. So there you go. He already got
Oh,
it there.
okay.
Yeah,
I
he's
didn't
been a
I didn't know you had presidents.
well. I call it. I label him as vice president. There's no. He's one of the people who started the Gig Geezer crew. I didn't. I didn't come out and say, "Hey, y'all, Gig Geezer crew." No, not me. But so you like your autonomy. That is big for
Love
you,
it. Love it.
and nobody can
And,
tell you
and
anything. Go ahead.
no, I was just the stage of my life, like my children are grown. So it's like the perfect time where, you're supposed to be able to do whatever you want to do. You want to go on vacation, you go on vacation. Well, if I have a W-2, I have to ask somebody if I can do that. I get my
Mm-hmm.
ass out of bed when I want to get out of bed. I go to work when I want to go to work. I come home when I want to come home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
And
one.
it's,
That is, I guess you would say that is, um, in a perfect world, what the gig economy affords people.
Yep.
that type of choice of being able to go in, out, what have you. And Grace says she is the gray-haired lackey. Beautiful guest you have there, sir. Autonomy all the way. Yeah,
Oh,
Red. Yeah,
thank you.
yeah,
Thank you, live, Mr.
yeah. He,
President. Mr. President.
no, he's first vice president. Remember that. Yeah. Oh,
Oh, Mr.
yeah,
Vice President.
yeah. Now Cray has already. I told Cray that I'll go with it. She is head of security, so that means she is director of in the Geezer world, director of Geezer security.
Well, no, sir. She is my head of security.
Okay, well she be my head of security as well. So but
Yeah, I'll
you know.
share her. I'll share.
Okay,
I see here that
okay.
she's willing to offer her security services to you. So,
Yeah, well, let's see. Danny O, he's thinking about leaving his job. Just paid. Let's see. Danny says, I'm thinking about leaving my job also. I just paid off all that I have. Man, that is an enviable position to be in if you're looking to get into gig work because then your motivation is just getting out there. That's what I think is when you have no debts whatsoever. Um, you know, everybody's situation is different, and that's the reason why people get, come out here. Let's see here. Great to see
says
the gig
he's
community growing.
thinking of leaving his job.
Yeah, hmm
That's scary.
but he's in a good position if he doesn't have any obligations. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Again, we all have our reasons for getting into the gig economy. So for
Yeah.
that reason, what kind of drew you into gig economy? Uh,
Well, when the big C hit, I was laid off. And
mhm,
at the time, I was a restaurant manager.
mhm,
And I had seen these delivery people come in. And to be completely honest with you, I looked down on them. I was like, ew.
mhm. Yeah, I can
Now, this,
imagine.
this,
Yeah.
I'm talking like 2016,
Mhm,
17, when
mhm.
we didn't really know too much other than
Right.
like, oh, you're picking up whatever.
Mhm,
And to be honest with you, a lot of them looked real shady. Like they
mhm,
were wearing their pajamas and
mhm,
hair nets and stuff. And I was just like, you're trash. Well, COVID hit, I got laid off, and remember we had the lockdown. You
mhm.
couldn't leave the
Right.
house. And one day I got an email that said DoorDash was hiring, and I was like,
Mhm.
I can get out of the house.
Right. You be an
So
essential worker. Right.
yeah. So I filled out the stuff, and my boyfriend was like, "But you don't like to drive." And I'm like, "Well, we'll find out." And well, I was approved like immediately within a
Mhm,
handful of hours, and
mhm,
within a couple days, I was out there on the streets, and I liked it. So then I signed up for Grubhub, and I liked it. Well, obviously, I was able to get out of the house, and I was making bank.
mhm,
And 14 months later, I got recalled. I didn't really want to go back, but I went out of my sense of obligation to others. I'm like, oh, well, they need me, so I got to go back. Within, I would say, 2 or 3 hours, I was regretting it.
mhm,
And then another opportunity came up that I thought would be really cool. I had a headhunter find me, and they offered me a position at a casino, and I was like, this is really cool. I would like to do that. So
mhm,
I did, and so I was food and beverage manager in a casino, and it was cool. I enjoyed it, but I couldn't stand the management,
mhm,
and it really came down to I had to go because either I was going to be fired or I was going to cuss somebody's ass out and be escorted. It just was not good. Um, and I remember driving home from that job, and I wasn't worried at all. I said,
mhm,
I'm just going to turn my ass on and go back out. Now, I didn't do much gig work after I got recalled because I was completely burned out. I mean, as a restaurant manager, it's not easy. You're on your feet all
Oh
day.
yeah, yeah,
Sometimes you
yeah.
have to cook. You're running
You're
around. You're in
doing
the dish
everything.
tank.
Yeah.
You're arguing with the staff because, at that time, they pretty much ran. Like, I don't even know why I would be called the manager because they're the ones who ran the show.
So it's the
Because we
inmates
needed
running the asylum.
exactly well, we were understaffed. So
Mhm.
we needed them a
Right.
lot. And so I'm talking like if you add in my commute time, I was away from home about 65 hours a week and only paid for 40. And I was just like, never again. So I took a couple of weeks off, turned on my apps, and I was like, okay,
Mhm.
I'm still able to make the same kind of money I was making during COVID. I can do this. And just, I've never looked back.
Right.
Never.
Well, that it's I got to mention this because this probably was right around the lockdown. In fact, we just had Jersey Man come in,
Hi,
Cobra.
Jersey. Hi, Cobra.
Um, let's see who else.
Jenny.
Someone. Yeah. Hey, Jenny. There was another person that came through that I missed that person. Chase. There it is. Chase. That's what it
Chase is
is.
here.
Right.
Ski
How's
Mask
the
is
van?
here
Check
from
out how's
Flex's
the van
channel.
get how's the van business going? Well, put it like this. Check out my channel. I'm not being I'm not being a smart ass. I'm just saying check out the channel. I have been with the delivery transport thing or the space now for a little over 2 years. In fact, check out last month's live stream where I had CJ Cargo Van out of San Antonio. We both started about the same time in that space. Hopefully that'll answer the question. Um, so anyway, during the lockdown, there was one particular restaurant. Now I'll give the name. I don't always give names, but this was a Denny's,
Uh-huh.
and they had a cook in there one night, and I told them, and they knew it too. That person should not have been hired. He could not keep up, but he had a heartbeat. He passed the background, pretty much. He was vertical,
Hmm.
and they were stuck with him for the time being. And I guess that's what you had to
Yeah.
deal with.
Yeah. That or, I mean, I don't even want to get into it, but yeah.
Hmm. Makes sense. Now let's see. We got Cobra. Let's see. I mentioned Cobra. Nick Robinson. Nick, and then we've got Koki Fedor. Okay.
I just call him Queef. Hey, Queef.
Okay, and then Ski Mask, the World. All
I
right.
don't really
So,
know Ski Mask.
well, apparently they came in with you because
Uh,
I
he
never.
he he's a new face over at the lounge. I don't really know him.
Okay.
He started hanging out there. I think like maybe in the last 7
Mhm.
days about. But I actually haven't even been there very much lately because I've
Right.
just been so busy. I'm sorry, Flex. I just been busy.
Well, I've not been over there in a couple of years, and it's not because. In fact, I'm going to talk about that now. I mentioned earlier that this is where Red and I met, as would a number of us, Cray, that I recall here. Um, but I migrated away from Flex's Lounge just because of as things got going with the van, as I added other last mile gig delivery apps, and then I started doing brokered opportunities. Uh, I just ran. There's only so many hours in a day, and
Exactly.
yeah, and so
Exactly.
and then there was the other crazy shit that came out. What was it with the DoorDash app? And it
Oh, the
involved some
glitch.
yeah, it involved some names over there, and it just so happened the timing was that I had started doing all this other stuff. So if anybody had any suspicions of me, they couldn't put my name in that stuff. I was
Right.
borrowing the athletic term. I was natural. I made my money natural. I don't know anything about anybody's glitch. But anyway, that's 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So let's see. So I'll say this now. When it comes to the gig economy, I think about this a lot because I've run into some folk who are in another circle that I was involved with at least between 2014 and 2021. That's bowling. I've mentioned it from time to time. I'm a card carrying PBA member. I've
Right,
bowled
that's
for
right.
money.
I had forgotten. Yeah.
Yeah, I've cashed in PBA tournaments and gone to match play, and I'm looking to my right, to my left, and in back of me, I've got bowling balls surrounding me. Okay, and some bowling balls that I've yet to drill. But if there's one thing that it seems like I have sacrificed as I've earned more money doing the gig space and the delivery and transport is bowling. I've not picked up a ball since October 2021. Has there been any sacrifice that you've made, or anything that you were known to do that you're not doing?
No.
So you've been able to maintain what you've been doing. It's just that you're doing gig work, right?
Yeah.
So what's wrong with me, man? What's wrong with me? It's
Well,
like,
no, I think probably you put a lot more work into your channel than I put into mine.
hmm.
So that might be where some of your time is going, right?
Yes, that's part of it because I started the
Yeah.
channel a month before all this stuff, and it's like
Hmm.
it all kind of has coincided. It's like when I started the channel, I started making more money, and then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, maybe I'll go practice next week. Maybe next week. Well, then next month, and now 3 years plus later, I've yet to pick up a ball. Yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about the channel. I didn't.
Yeah. See, all I do is when I go to work, I just hit a button and go live.
Hmm.
Other than that, I wasn't doing anything with my channel. You, on the other hand, are
Hmm.
making edited content, which
Right.
I have just started to do this week, and
Hmm.
that's time consuming. You got to
Yes.
film it, edit it, upload it, SEO your
Yes.
stuff, make a thumbnail.
Yes. Yes.
I wasn't doing any of that.
Right.
So
And I've
that
been
right there could be 2 or 3 hours a day
easily, and I've been
that
doing
I
that all
don't,
along. Yes.
and I was not. I was not. So there's
Let's
your
see.
time.
A good bit of it. You're right. Then let's see.
Yeah.
Mr. First Vice President says, question for Red: do you find that your area has slowed at all in the amount of gigs?
Mm, like slowed from when? From COVID to now? That
Well.
answer would be yes.
Mhm. How
But
about then in the last 6 months to a year?
no,
Okay, so it's been
no.
about the same.
And to elaborate on that COVID slowdown, if you will,
Hmm.
maybe slowdown is not the right word. Maybe change is the right word
Hmm.
because we didn't have Walmart Spark back then. We didn't have
Hmm.
Deliver That or Delivered or Zifty, right?
Hmm.
So we have a whole lot of other things
Hmm.
that we're doing.
Well, right. Let's see now. Cray says I was one of the first gig content creators that she binge watched. Oh, well, that made my moment right now. I did not.
Oh, I didn't know
Let's.
that.
Hmm. Let's see here. What's another? Lots more competition. Hit you right on the head. Hit you right on the head. If you want to call it competition, I mean, I just
I don't consider anybody competition
right.
unless I'm in a war, then they're my competition. But the driver sitting next to
Mhm.
me in the parking lot, I don't consider him competition.
Right. Okay. Let's see. We've got leads are fun. Okay. I think I make easier on breads. No. Well, Jenny. I'm gonna think then that if you met me on Reds, it's got to be in Flex Lounge or when I've probably popped through on Gig Wars. That's possibly when you saw me
You,
because
you,
no.
you,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead, I'm sorry.
No,
No,
you
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
say, I think when you came in last week in the chat to invite me here, I think she was in the chat that day.
Okay.
So that
Okay.
might be what she means.
Yeah, more than likely then. And that leads me to then Gig Wars. Now, this is something that folk don't know. When Red, now I'm gonna let Red go ahead on explain how it came about though. But when she actually started talking about putting together Gig Wars, I was one of the people in the beginning said I thought that was a good idea and I think you should go for it. 2 years later, here we are. So How did that really begin? Because I know that really it kind of started out the Flex Lounge where folk were challenging each other in terms of who can do more in a week. But where did the idea come up with the actual community? So to speak, because I think that's what it's more so a community than so much as a YouTube channel.
Well, so I had been live streaming a couple
Mm-hmm.
of days a week,
Mm-hmm.
and just by nature, I'm very competitive. And so I asked Dashing Trader if he would have a competition with me. And that chicken shit, he's never done it. Hi, Trader. Trader's
Oh,
another
him.
one
Oh,
who
yeah,
came up
yeah.
with
With
that.
the
Yeah,
with
yeah,
the
yeah,
forehead out of St. Louis, out of the Midwest. Okay.
yeah. And then one day I asked another person who used to have a channel if they would have a competition, and they said
Mm-hmm.
yes. And we did it for several days, and it was a lot of fun. I had a blast, and I lost. Just want to say I lost,
Mm-hmm.
and to be honest, it was going to die there, except maybe having like a random competition. But
Mm-hmm.
somebody asked me. I went on vacation. And somebody asked me that when I come back, if I will have a competition with them, just me
Mm-hmm.
and that person. And I said yes. Well, I don't know how word got out. I guess this particular person had mentioned it that, oh, when Red comes back, we're going to have a competition. Well, six people ended up being in that, Flex being one of them.
Mm-hmm.
We had so much fun, so much fun. And the engagement on the channel was incredible because it was live streamed on my
Right.
channel.
Mm-hmm.
And Cody C,
Yeah, I
he
remember
is the
Cody.
producer, he developed like a scoreboard. He was
Yeah.
manually putting in
Okay.
the numbers, and that was a big job.
Mm-hmm.
A couple weeks later, we did it again. And that one I invited Pedro into. That's the week Pedro made two
That
grand.
too great. Okay, that's the week. Okay. Yeah.
And Cody had his hands full because not only was he keeping score of
He was out.
everybody's
He
score,
was out there trying to do the thing himself.
he was a participant. So on the live streams, I was like, we need to do something because this, if we're going to continue and if other people want to have wars, like they need to have a way to keep track of the score because you can't keep doing this. It's just too much. And anyway, Gary Middleton ended up in my chat,
Mm-hmm.
and so did
Mm-hmm.
another a female developer. I don't want to get too much into that because ultimately, she's not a part of it anymore, and it's not because I don't like her or anything like that. She just couldn't keep up with Gary, and Gary can do both.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, yeah.
so
Gary's like the name, y'all. Gary Middleton. He's like
yeah,
one of the app guys. I think he's helped Rideshare Rodeo, Steve Rideshare Rodeo Johnson, with some things a couple years ago. But go ahead with Gary because he's a main name, and if there's someone that
yeah.
you're gonna want to approach, Gary's the person.
So, he said in the chat, hey, Red, can we talk? And I said, yeah, sure. He messaged me on Discord. We exchanged numbers and we had like, I don't know, a 2 hour phone conversation.
Mm-hmm.
A couple weeks later, there's a Gig Wars app approved and put on both Play stores. And so now anybody can download it for free. We have a paid version too. But you can download it for free, have a competition with your friend, and record the scores like in live time. It's as current as you putting in your numbers. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it has people's stats, like what kind of car they drive,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's as complete as what the user, the data that they put in, right? Like, what kind of car are you in? A cargo van? Are you in an SUV? Are you
Right.
an e-bike delivery driver?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we're hoping that one day it will be so big that people can just communicate with each other within the app, just like this is the group of e-bike drivers. Hey, there's going to be an e-bike war. And I mean, really, it's just for fun. It's fun. It motivates you to work harder, to work more, and we ultimately find that people make more money. So they have
Right.
fun and they make more money.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Now, of course, I'm kind of dating myself with some what I'm contributing to the conversation though. But it's
Mhm.
funny how when it started, it was seemed as if that those of us who kind of all congregated together, because I can say that I congregated with y'all in that group, we were kind of
Mhm.
seen as the bad people, in that.
Were we?
Yeah, at least if you check out in the YouTube sphere among other content creators, we
Yeah.
were the ones who always talked about being able. We were the ones who could make money. Number one, we were the ones who
Yes.
were making money. Number two, we didn't do it by taking every order, accepting every
Right.
order. It was the accept
Right.
less, earn more mantra, among other
Mhm.
things. But it seemed like those of us who congregated actually made money doing it. And so, and then if you consider our personalities when we're all together, it was like we were the bad people of of the of that space, so to speak.
I think that I think that generally speaking, the
Mm-hmm.
crowd there, nobody is a yes man, and
Mm-hmm.
everybody is willing to tell somebody to go fuck themselves
Easily,
in
we will
a
all say
second.
that.
And
we
we're
would
not taking
easily.
your shit. Not taking your
Yes.
shit and get the fuck out of here.
Yes.
And a lot of people can't they can't take people like us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like they just can't. So
Mm-hmm.
we're not for everybody. I know I'm
No.
not for everybody, and I don't need some asshole on the side of the road to tell me that. Fuck, I know myself better than you know me. I know I'm not for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I say that as well for myself. Even
Yeah,
though, like right now, hey, we seem to get along real fine. But
yeah.
hey, you don't know what I tell people on my own and all that stuff. Like I give you a good example, even though this is not directly related to it. I happen to be at a stoplight and I happen to check my phone and the guy said, "Stop texting." I said, "Why don't you mind your fucking business?"
See? Yesterday live, I wanted to give somebody the finger. I'm like, I'm gonna give this motherfucker the finger, and everybody in my chat is like, no, don't. By the way, I just want to let everybody know that Gig Geezer did say I'm allowed to swear on the channel.
Yes, I
Just
did
want to
say
say.
so. In fact, she was concerned about that. I said, "No, you can use profanity on my live stream. So go ahead as you fucking well please right now." Anyway, let's see. I'm definitely not for. Well, Cray Cray, we we understand. We understand. They just have to get to know you. When they get to know you, they know that you're heart of gold. So I'll leave it at that. Um. So now, I have seen other drivers from the originating gig war. What's happened to some of them? Are they on the paid side, or is just they've gone on to do their own thing, or what?
Can you elaborate on the question? I'm not sure what you
Well, there were see. I remember the early gig wars where there
mean.
were people who would get in on their live streams and all, or there were the competitions that were showing up on the live stream. I've not seen any of those people from the beginning. Maybe it's a matter of timing, but I've not seen any of those in some of the videos that I've checked out on the Gig Wars official channel.
Do you mean like other people on the team, or just like people in my chat hopping up on the panel? Or,
Among the drivers who would compete.
oh, I don't know where they are.
Okay.
Like it's my channel. It's,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, there's people that have competed in it in the beginning, and so like they just move on, you know?
Okay.
Like being in a competition is not like for everybody to do all, like everybody's just not built like that, or
Mm-hmm.
it's just not everybody's thing, or you have a competition maybe once or twice a year. Like
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's
Okay.
not necessarily their full
Right.
time
Right.
kind of
And that
thing,
makes
right?
that makes sense. That makes sense. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, it's not something that you can do every single week. All right.
right.
Question from Mr. First Vice President here. Lyft in my area allows me to get paid personally or through a business name. Which one would benefit you more? Um, Actually, if it's just you individually, you could it's a coin flip, and this is just my opinion because we're getting close to tax season. If you do it in a business name, it can be paid to LLC, but then from a tax standpoint, just this is just me talking. It will still be done as a sole proprietorship. If you do it in your name, you're still gonna. It's just yours. It's still sole proprietorship. Either way, it's still sole proprietorship, but it's just more official, and you have more benefits in the long run if it's done through business name. So if you have LLC, okay, you mentioned that, just do it through the LLC. It's just that it's going to be single sole proprietorship. That's just me talking, not official advice. Well, Red, do you're gonna stay on the sidelines on that one, huh?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Listen, I don't have an LLC. I just file under
Your
my
name.
own. Yeah. I
Okay,
mean, I
so
think I probably should get an LLC. I just don't.
hmm this, I mean, again, I've got certain things that actually come in my name, but a lot of the stuff that I do is really set up through the LLC, and then it's still under it's LLC sole proprietorship. That's just for me tax purposes, um, and I'll just leave it at that. Now, I got to share this with you, Red, because this is what happened today. Now, I went out there and I got a video that I believe has just uploaded.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm actually checking the upload status. I think the problem with some of my videos why they take so long is because of the actual quality of the video. When the higher the resolution, the longer it takes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, I went out there today here in South Carolina, day after it snowed, and
Right.
did
Yeah, you guys got snow.
and I did some gig I did some Uber Eat deliveries,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually mentioned in the video trying to my motivation is red to go out here and see if what I can do when I know that a lot of the folk, at least this during the morning hours, were still inside, scared to get out there in that on that snow, that fresh snow. And
Mm-hmm.
so I completed 4 deliveries and I earned $111.26.
Look at you. That's a
Yeah.
lot. That's like what, 20 average of $27 a delivery.
Yeah. I'll give you the breakdown. It reminded me of days of old. The first was a shop and pay. The offer amount was $28.05. It paid $31.58. It was only 6 items.
Get it?
The second one, $18.08 offer. It paid $18.13. Another shop and pay, 3 items. The next was a
Easy money.
stacked shop and pay, 5 items on the food pickup, and then the other was the 5 items on the shop and pay, and then a food pickup. And the
Mm-hmm.
offer was $27.49. It went down to $27.28 because of the item shop.
Right,
And then
right.
the last one was a food pickup. The offer amount was $34.07, and it paid $34.07.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
It's like, hey, you know what? Geezer hadn't lost a step there.
There you go. I tell
Yeah.
you what, I've been killing it on Uber.
Mhm.
Uber. I'm in love with Uber. I'm in love with Uber. And
Okay.
that's weird because I've always hated Uber
Is that
until
right?
recently. Yeah, like over the last 6 months, I was like, oh, what's going on here with Uber? And now like in the last couple weeks, I'm just like, I want an Uber order. I want an Uber order.
Mm-hmm. Well, I will say this: when it comes to the gig food stuff, in fact, I mentioned in one of my videos, I have not done a lot of gig food delivery stuff. In fact, I still yet to do a DoorDash since November. I've done a couple of Instacarts since November. Grubhub, I've done like one since November, and then the rest have been a handful of Uber Eats. In fact, I shared with you on Sunday when I chimed in on your chat on your while you were out driving. I had a Uber Eats shop and pay that offered $45.05, and they paid ultimately $53.57. Yeah, yeah.
My last, excuse me, my last order today, I was an Uber. I was I thought what I was working on was my last order, and that was a Spark taking me near my house. You know, I had to get home because I had this with you, right? And I'm
Mhm.
like, I've got these things that I need to do. But Uber called me and they offered me $40 flat to go to the supermarket and deliver somebody's groceries. So I said, I gotta go.
Oh yeah, yeah. Half call will travel. Yeah, yeah. No problem whatsoever. No
I gotta,
problem.
I gotta do that.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see here. Marion. Marion says, "Good evening, everyone. Came from Flex's channel. Wanted to say this is a great live. Job well done. Thank you, Marion."
Hi,
Um,
Marion.
Danny O. Have had DoorDash 2016, Uber 2016, Amazon Flex 2017. Deliver that, ship it, driver, Instacart. I just downloaded Food Loop. That's the new one that's coming out. Everybody's talking about.
I'm on the wait list.
And got my eye on a cargo van, Ford Transit 250. Danny, is that going to be a medium roof, low roof, or is it going to be the high roof? I'm just curious to know with that van. That's cool. That's cool, man. Let's see here. Gig Geezer. You have
Ooh,
such a voice that draws people. It's like radio podcast voice. That's the way I want it to be. Yes,
he
thank you.
does.
Yeah.
Look at Live and Direct says he loves to see ladies out there in this gig economy, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let
Now I
me tell
was.
you, I have a friend who's a female. She's in New Jersey. She's a
Mhm.
business owner, but in addition to that, she does gig work. In fact, I just made a short of her today. Um, she delivers on an e-bike, and
Mhm.
not only and she's a beast, but in addition to that, she tricks out e-bikes. Like she pimps them out. Like pimp my ride, she pimps
Mhm.
out e-bikes. So yeah, there are a lot of women that do what we do.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I don't even. I'm not even gonna try to throw in numbers or anything like that. But yes, you see women out there doing this thing because for a number of women, it gives them a flexibility and also opportunity to earn money and also the
Hmm.
immediacy of the money that's available on most apps. So it's a win-win-win situation for a lot of ladies out there. Now, in the last mile space, like when it comes to, I mean, you see women doing the same thing. You may not see them lifting 5-gallon paint cans and all that, but
Hmm.
you have some women out there on that end. But on the gig food delivery side, with the Instacarts and the catering and the Door Dashes, you do see a good number of women out there.
Yeah.
Yes. We don't need flex. We have flex. We don't need flexibility. Okay. um, I'm gonna leave. I'll leave you at that one. I'm not even gonna argue. I'm not even gonna. I'll leave that one alone. But yeah. So like I mentioned, that was my reason for coming out there, Red. Now that leads me to this. In
Uh-oh.
fact, yeah. We're gonna get this here.
Uh-oh, he's
Um,
pulling something up.
oh yeah, yeah. You know me, man. I got to do that shit. All right, Red. Now
Oh,
this is yeah. Now you cleaned
All
up
right,
this past
guys, Red
weekend.
here from Gig Wars Official. I'm going to show you a day in the life of a delivery driver. Now, I'm a multi-apper. It's currently snowing, southeast Pennsylvania. Here's a little view. Oh, I'm already at like $78. I've done 2 orders
oh, that was
on
Sunday, the
Instacart.
snowstorm.
Hmm.
And DoorDash does not even have a
Oh, yeah.
promo. Been getting a bunch of bad orders. Just decline, decline, decline. So I'm having my lunch. Yeah, that's what we do. That's what we do. We sit in parking lots and decline bad stuff.
Hmm.
and giggle about it.
Now she's being nice right now, y'all.
I'll be back when I have some
She's
more
being
stuff
nice.
going on. Here's the 2 orders done so far today.
$72, y'all.
$72.53. I've worked for 2 hours and 1 minute.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not moving my car for shit.
Now that's red that I know.
So if you tip shit, I'm not the one bringing you your stuff.
You bring shit, you don't get it here. Okay.
Look at that.
Okay.
$9 for 9.9 miles. Decline.
I
All right.
declined so much that day.
Well, Red, but you made like 289 when it was all said and done.
I did. I made 289 on Sunday.
And it was what, 325 the day before on Saturday, if memory serves me correct. At least that's the notes that I took.
Hold on, let me give you my since Saturday because I don't remember what I made Friday, but so Saturday was 325, Sunday 289, Monday was a slow day. I made 149.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, Tuesday, 216, and today, hold on, what did I make? Let me open the Gig Wars app. I think it was 222. 222.34 I made today.
Okay. And so for the most part, if you were to divulge your numbers, it sounds like an average day for you is somewhere in between 200 and 250. That would be somewhat of an average productive day.
I would say that probably on my average, if you average it out, I'm probably more like 175 a day. Because I have bad days. I mean, I have bad days.
Mm-hmm.
I have days where I sit there and go like, what the fuck am I doing with my life?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And then I go, wait a minute, tomorrow's another day.
right. Yeah. Excuse me, I had to reach for the Fresca here. I have, well, one of the things that I'm having to accept are the days in which I realize there's not much going on and just don't go out and just leave it at that. But when I was doing primary gig food delivery, so that we're talking up to 2022, and along with having a channel, I did feel as if I had to produce because, I'm the one who's talking all this shit about doing 6 G's a month and all, and having so many consecutive days of averaging 200 or better. It's like, okay, but then the market allowed for me to do that. I don't see where the market, at least here in South Carolina, it's not the same as it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. And so, I thought it was pretty good to be out there for 3.5 hours, earning 111 because of all the bad orders that you see out there. It's some fucking terrible orders. And that leads me to something else. Dumbass orders.
Dumbass orders.
You got to tell me about that. How did that come about?
So that is Miko the entrepreneur. Do you know Miko?
I've seen her channel. In fact, I am subscribed to her channel. In fact, I think I mentioned to you that I was familiar with her channel. I just didn't know that y'all had teamed up as well. Rideshare. What the fuck?
So,
you missed this? Yeah, you man, you got to be in the funk. You got to bring your funky self out here, Rideshare. Come on. Anyway, go ahead.
That's Miko's term, dumbass orders. Like, I've only just been saying dumbass orders because she's saying it. That's polite. And
yeah,
like like I'm more like, well,
Yeah, well then that's what I'm gonna get at. And then there are dumbass fucking orders. There are dumbass fucking orders, okay? What are some dumbass fucking orders?
Well, I can't really give you much experience on that kind of stuff because I don't take that kind of shit. Now, I'm not going to say that I've never, that I haven't. I have, but never intentionally. Like maybe they'll get me on a stacked where one of them was shitty,
Mm-hmm.
but the order overall was decent, obviously, if I took it.
Mm-hmm.
Or sometimes when I've done earn by time. And I
Okay.
tell you what, I've blacklisted a lot of addresses.
Right.
I discovered these people when I was doing earn by time. When I'm like, oh, you're a fucking asshole. Blacklist this address, blacklist this address,
Yeah.
blacklist this address.
Yeah. Yeah. There's approximations. I don't see. Well, yeah, you can see addresses now, but there are approximations of places in the past that I would do, and I'm like, okay, that's not one. That's not. I'm not gonna do that one. Or if you,
Right?
actually on DoorDash, if you look ahead, you can see the address.
You
That's
touch
the
on the house.
Yes, yes, I know that now. I know that.
Yeah.
But it used to be you'd have to go in and kind of pull it up that way. And I
Hmm.
think Grubhub used to allow you to do that. It was Uber Eats that always gives you the approximation. But okay, here's an example: $6.07 for 29 miles. Is that a dumbass order? Dumbass fucking order, or is that I'm going to throw up another possibility? Um, and then there are dumbass fucking stupid orders. Which one does that fall under?
That would be the dumbass fucking stupid order. It has to be that order right there has to be like the worst of the worst of the worst. So you
Mhm.
that was the option with the most foul language. So that's why I chose it.
You're trying to be all nice about that again. But I bet in the heat of in the heat of action, that would all come out.
I I don't know what I would say. It would have to happen in real time. It would have to hit my phone. I guarantee you I would laugh, I would curse, and I would be like, you fucking are insane. Fucking insane. Like shame on Uber, actually. Shame
Mhm.
on Uber for putting something like that in the system. Because I guarantee you, and I hate to say it the way I'm even going to say it, but I don't know any other way. And I don't mean to insult delivery drivers, but there's some stupid motherfucker drivers who would take that dumbass shit.
Yes, there are. In fact, that's why they earn the name of thirsties, in my opinion. But those are stupid ass fucking thirsties. For that very reason.
But I
And you
say
see,
shame on Uber. Shame on Uber for allowing something like that in the system. If they
mhm,
want that shit done, then they need to pay. They need to pay an appropriate mileage pay, a time pay for that nonsense. Shame on Uber.
mhm,
Multi fucking billion-dollar company. You got
yes,
CEOs making, and you're gonna put out some stupid ass shit like that? No.
I agree. I agree.
I mean, the customer's an asshole too, but that's just ridiculous.
All right, let's see here. Not educated ones. I think Jersey Man's talking about some of the people out there. Let's see. We've got great. Okay, we've still got the same folk in here, and we're almost here at an hour. Red, we're at
Look at
53
that.
minutes.
It seems like only seems like 5 minutes. Is that voice, geezer?
You think so?
Oh,
Well, I'm just hoping that I did my homework right. That's all. If I do my
yeah.
homework right,
You studied your ass off, pulling up clips.
hey, that's the reporter in me. That distance should not even exist. I agree with you.
Exactly.
But all those apps know that there are people that would take these like newbies. That is, oh, newbies. Okay, that's true. I mean, hey, here's one of my. This is the first example for me, and I've shared this, and from that point, I had not done another one like that. This is DoorDash 2019. This is when they would offer what is the peak pay, but it was in a time period where you had 3 hours, for example, and you had to complete a certain percentage of orders within that 3 hours to get the dollar per order credited to you. Well, me being like a dumbass who was struggling with my driver rating anyway, I'm thinking that okay, I got to do this one in order to get that extra dollar. It was an order that went from Lexington County to Richland County, a distance of about 20 miles. That
Oh
fucker
my
paid three
God.
dollars
You
and
did that? You did that for a
yes,
dollar? Oh my
yes,
God. I gotta
because
go. I gotta
hey,
go. I can't be here with you.
that was 2019. I promise you, I ain't done nothing like that
Okay,
since.
all right, okay, all right, all right, okay, all right,
2019. That was my first year on the app. That's, but I
okay.
promise you, I did not do anything like that after that. In fact, I got in contact with DoorDash. I said, hey, shouldn't y'all give me a bump with this? I mean, I drove all that. Oh, we can't do anything. Sorry. And I didn't even get the fucking bonus because it was completed outside of the time parameters.
Oh
Yeah,
my
so I got,
God.
I mean, you know, I just held my ankles and just said, just do me, baby, you know. I mean,
Oh my God.
I promise you, I ain't done no shit like that since. I've said it 3 times though, but I mean that was that, you know, a lesson learned on that one. By the way, you mentioned Amazon Flex.
Mm-hmm.
Amazon Flex for me, when I did it between 2018 and 2019, and and it's in the video that I got uploaded, coming up. It was a game changer for me in that when it came to my market, it allowed me to transition away from rideshare. And it was that intermediary that kind of also introduced me into the gig food space as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, do you still do Amazon Flex?
No, but I need to. In fact, I'm surprised that I have not been deactivated due to inactivity because I have not done an order in going on 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe my saving grace is that I turn it on every once in a while just to
That's what it
see if
is.
anything.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I guess technically, algorithmically within the app, I am active. Um, but I tell you what, I've made a lot of money with Amazon Flex.
Mm-hmm.
I did a package route once. I would like to try another one, but I would do it only if they put a warehouse closer to me.
Mm-hmm.
I will not go to where it is. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but the grocery delivery is
Oh, the
where,
Whole Foods.
and I will not take a route. I will only do the instant offers because I can preview the route.
Right.
But yeah, no, I like Amazon Flex. I do like it. It's just that I have um, there's just others that are like Amazon Flex is on one part of my town, and I
Mm-hmm.
prefer to work on another. Like I don't prefer to work down there, and I find it for me anyway because I'm not a high rated Amazon Flex driver. Because you know they
Mm-hmm.
change things now.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff goes out to people who like do it all the time.
Oh, is that
Um,
right? Mm-hmm.
yeah, that because I'm a multi-apper, and I
Mm-hmm.
just don't like to work down in that area, so I don't go.
Mm-hmm.
I
Well,
don't go.
I will say this much that in the time that I did Amazon Flex, so we're talking about 11 months, I earned $34,000 in that time space.
See?
And in 9.5, a little over 9 months, I earned right at 30,000. I was the highest earning of the Amazon Flex drivers in the Columbia market when I did it back then. Um, shouldn't be any surprise though, but um,
No.
I danced a lot of dances, but I certainly didn't take them for cheap either. The blocks, you
Right.
know, yeah.
And
But
did you do the
it
packages or the
I did
groceries? Or both? Or
I
both?
I did it. I did it all. In fact, I was uh there were certain runs that they looked for me to do because they knew that I could get it done within a certain time period because I mean, me being in South Carolina, there were some places that you had to go drive out to, number one, and then you had
Hmm.
to know where you were going in order to be efficient and so forth. And so I think what prepared me was doing rideshare. When you do rideshare,
Oh, yeah.
because you see a lot of areas. And
Right,
so
right.
that prepared me. And so sometimes I would get some real fucked up runs, but I'd make it work.
Yeah.
But what I used to do too among the drivers, I would have them to, I would actually do giveaways and have them to guess the number of packages that I had. And if they guessed the exact number of packages, they would get $25. $25, something like that. We had a Facebook chat, and
Nice.
um yeah, yeah. And um my talking then to them was not to be thirsties, to, you know, try to get let the blocks go up. Don't just take them at the fucking middle numbers and
Right.
shit,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But but anyway, we're at an hour, Red. I'm gonna keep my word as I always do with most folk. I say that most folk. I may try to sneak past them sometimes though. But thanks for spending an hour with me. Hopefully I've made
Oh,
it
you're
worth your while.
welcome. Yeah, I
Um
enjoyed it. Anytime. Thank
yeah,
you for
and
the invite. Thank you. This
yeah,
was fun.
yeah, thank you. And while I'm at it, I this is something I do from time to time.
Mhm.
So what's on the horizon with Gig Wars official?
Um, well, I kind of took a break from live streaming for a couple of months
Mm-hmm.
because I was doing a lot of Instacart shopping. So, and it's
Mm-hmm.
really, really hard to run a live stream when you're not
Yeah.
in your car and you're shopping.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I got my diamond status again, and I've gone back to streaming. And Cray Cray has been hanging out with me a lot. She's on a sabbatical from her W-2. So
Mm-hmm.
for at least like the next 90 days, she and I will be on panel working.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easier when you have somebody else because she can hold it down while I go shop and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I do have a war tomorrow with George, just a 12-hour war. And I've started doing edited content, which I find really fun.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, I don't really have anything, scheduled or planned out. It's just one day at a time, one day at a time. I'm
Okay.
just a regular gig worker like everybody else, but I mean, we do host a daily live stream where other people can come hang out with us while we're all out there working so that we're not alone in our car,
Mm-hmm.
while we work. And I'm going to tell you, like, I don't know everything, right? And Jersey Man, right here in your chat, I had an issue today on the Spark app, and Jersey Man is the one who told me what it was I needed to do. And if he
Okay.
wasn't there to help me, I would have lost my shit.
Just like
So
that, huh?
that just like that. So I mean, I like that we have that. I like that we have that. We have a little community over there where we hang out where we work, and other
Mm-hmm.
than we're just the same old every day.
Okay. Well, that's cool. All right, Red. Well, I'm gonna pull you out of here.
Okay.
Let's see here. Y'all, give them your your Gig Wars official. Just look it up, Gig Wars official.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna type it in here. You see it on her beanie. Gig
On my beanie.
Wars official. If I can spell, usually I can spell. Grace, yes, thanks for coming through here. Um, all right, that's it. Well, Red, I'm gonna let you go. Thanks for coming on. All right, y'all. I have nobody yet scheduled for next week's live stream. So we may have one, we may not have one. But if we do, you know where it'll be at 9 o'clock Eastern, right here with the Gig Geezer. Jersey Man, thanks for coming through here. Grace, I'm gonna go through some names here as I'm kind of signing out of here. Dial in, Cray Cray, of course. Let's see, Mr. Picard, First Vice President, Double M, Marion. Let's see here. Unknown Head. I think that's enough there. But y'all, hey, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening in on a damn conversation. And as always, may your grind and may your hustle. You know where it goes. May your grind and may your hustle continue.